Now we are using a function which is so crucial. It's called the compounded return or geometric mean. Now this function you'll use in quants, in fixed income and various other places. The most important element of this concept is that you will utilize it in your real life also whenever you want to find the compounded growth of your funds, of your investments, of the GDP, etc. So this is where we use this function exclusively. It's used in quants, of course, but more exclusively used in fixed income and equity and other topics. Let's start with that. For this, I have utilized an example also from my book Top 700, which is an exclusive book with amazing questions. So I will take that example to make it much easier. All right, so this is geometric mean. Now, first of all, we've already set up the calculator. So I'll take up an example because in geometric mean, you have returns for different periods and then you compound them. Here I'm going to use the function of y to the power x to get the cube root. Well, if there are 3 years, you need cube root. If there are 4 years, you need the fourth root and fifth root and so on. So we'll take the example of cube root. Okay. For square root, you already have a function here in your calculator. So I will help you with that also, that there is already a square root function, but for cube root and others you will have to use the technique that I'm going to show you now. All right, so let us take this example. If you see question number 7, there are returns for 3 years, 6%, 37%, which is negative, and 27%. If it was simple arithmetic mean, you would just simply do 6 minus 37 plus 27 divided by 3 and get the arithmetic mean answer. However, for geometric mean, it's slightly different. The 6% you need to compound it, so you need to add the factor of 1, so it becomes 1.06. It's basically adding 6% to a dollar. 37% you need to deduct from a dollar, so that becomes 0.63. It's like deducting 37 from 100. And 27% to a dollar is 1.27. Now ideally you need to multiply all three and then find the cube root, that is to the power 1 by 3. So how is this done? So let's go to the calculator and we will press 1 by 1. So we'll do 1.06 in our calculator. We will use 1.06, correct? Now if there are too many numbers, you can store it. Store function, we've already seen where is the store function. This is where the store function is. So I prefer, if there are too many numbers, I store it, but of course with practice you don't need to store it. However, here we'll do it with store. So we'll store the first value in 1. So I'll put this as store 1. The second return was 0.63. So that will do in store 2, and 1.27 we'll put in store 3. So we'll do 0.63 and that will press store 2. And the third one was 1.27. So I will do 1.27 and that you will do simply store 3. Now remember, I don't need to press clear again. It overrides that, correct? So this is what is important. Now all my functions are stored. So how do I check whether they are properly stored or not? Because most of the times the problem is that you don't store the number correctly and the answer doesn't appear right. So to recall the function and to understand whether you've stored correctly, so you need to press recall and check one by one. So you'll press recall 1, it is 1.06, recall 2, it is 0.63, and recall 3, it is 1.27. Now you multiply all three and store it in 4. Yes, you can store it in 4. So what we'll do is that we'll do recall 1, multiply that by recall 2, multiply that with recall 3, and don't forget to press equal to, because unless you press equal to, you will not get the answer. So now you see 0.8481. Before I forget or make mistakes, so I don't have to do everything again, I store it. So you press store 4. So basically we've multiplied all 1.06 into 0.63 into 1.27 and we've stored. But remember, at the end of the day, after multiplying all of this, you need to do to the power, because it is 3 years, so you need to do to the power 1 by 3, not to the power 3, 1 by 3, and then you need to do minus 1 into 100 to get in percentage, right? So how do I do to the power 1 by 3 to this number which I've got 0.8481? To do so, to do any power, you have a function here called y to the power x. If you notice here, y to the power x. Now when you press y to the power x, you will see nothing appears on your screen, which is okay because the function has just started. Now you need to instruct the calculator that for how many years you need to compound. So you will press 3 because it's 3 years, right? If it is 5 year data, you'll press 5. But we don't want 3, we want inverse of 3, correct? So what we'll do, after pressing 3, we will not press equal to, we will press the inverse button which is here just above yx. So after I already press yx, I'll press 3 and then I'll not press equal to, I'll press inverse button which is above the y to the power x. Now when I inverse, it gives the instruction do compounding 1 by 3, not 3. Are you getting it? After that, press equal to, because finally you need to press equal to tell the calculator that everything is done. Once you press equal to, your answer is not done. This is your final answer. No, you need to subtract 1 because that's what you use to compound. So you need to subtract 1 and then again press equal to. You need to keep pressing equal to multiple times so that you keep instructing the calculator that my equation is done. Now this is your answer. You can convert it into percentage by simply multiplying it with 100. So you get 5.34. This is how we calculated the geometric mean. So your answer of 5.34 is calculated in this way. Remember, it was 3 years. If it was 5 years, I would multiply all 5, store it in 6, and then to the power I would do 5. I would do what? I would press y by x, 5 and inverse. So here you learn two functions, is how to compound and how to do the inverse. Because when you are doing geometric mean, you do to the power 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5. However, remember, when you have only 2-year returns, you simply have to do the square root. So instead of doing 2 and inverse, you can simply press the root also. Don't worry, all these nitty-gritties and in-depth calculation varieties you will see when you do the topic. The objective here is just to learn how to use a compounding function y by x and how to do the inverse function. Thank you.